This article is being read by an automated voice. Chapter 2.7 European Market Data, Stores Using Natural Refrigerants. Total Addressable Market. The total addressable market in Europe for food retail outlets, including supermarkets, hypermarkets, grocery, discount, and convenience stores, is estimated at 300,000 stores. This is a slight increase from 2023 when we estimated a market size of 298,600 stores. In this report, Europe is defined as including the EU, UK, Norway, Switzerland, Iceland, non-EU Balkan states, Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, and the European part of Russia. Transcritical CO2 racks and condensing units, the market today. According to data collected by Atmosphere as of December 2024, there were approximately 90,700 food retail stores in Europe that use transcritical CO2 systems. Of these, 76,200 used a centralized system with one or more racks and 14,500 used condensing units. The number of stores with racks grew by 27% from 60,000 as of December 2023, while the number with condensing units grew by 71% from 8,500. There were an estimated 4,900 industrial sites using this technology, an increase of 48% from 3,300, with the rapid rise attributable to underestimations from past reports. In total, there were commercial and industrial 95,600 transcritical CO2 sites in Europe, up 33% from 71,800 last year. More than half of the CO2 store units were for new construction, according to manufacturers, with the remainder for retrofits or remodels of existing stores. New stores represented 54% of installations for racks and 51% of installations for condensing units. The percentage of installations in existing food retail stores is likely to grow in the coming years as these stores, seeking to comply with regulations, increasingly replace aging HFC-based refrigeration systems with ones using CO2. The market penetration of transcritical CO2 systems in stores has increased this year to 30%. The percentage of all food retail stores in Europe estimated to feature transcritical CO2 installations, which includes condensing units, as of December 2024, up from 22.9% in 2023 and 18.4% in 2023-2022 god. Adoption of transcritical CO2 systems in European food retail has grown markedly since March 2021, when the number of stores using transcritical CO2 systems was estimated to be 38,400. There were 1,640 industrial sites using transcritical CO2 at that time for a total of 40,040 transcritical CO2 sites in Europe. As of March 2020, 27,550 European stores employed transcritical CO2 refrigeration systems. Thus, in just 5 years, that figure has grown by 229%, despite nearly constant economic uncertainty attributable to the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's war in Ukraine, among other issues. Behind the numbers, the recent revision of the EU F-gas regulation has cemented CO2's future in the commercial refrigeration sector. New commercial refrigeration racks and condensing units cannot use a refrigerant with a GWP of 150 or more starting in 2030. The ascension of transcritical CO2 could be further accelerated if the ECHA determines that PFAS should be banned in the refrigerant sector in the EU, which would impact many HFCS and HFOS. Even if the ECHA reaches this conclusion, a PFAS ban in the refrigerant sector would need to be supported by the European Commission and voted on by member states. The trend towards smaller format food stores may also clear a wider lane for CO2 condensing units. These outside units free up building space that a rack would otherwise occupy, space that could be used for additional storage or to display more merchandise. Panasonic in particular has big ambitions in this regard. In July 2024, it acquired Polish CO2 condensing unit manufacturer Area Cooling Solutions, giving it a condensing unit factory in Europe. Panasonic has installed around 4,000 CO2 condensing units in Europe since bringing its 2-horsepower unit to the market in 2017, with demand from supermarkets growing to account for more than 50% of sales since 2023. Hydrocarbon self-contained cases. The market today. Using data collected from a survey of OEMs as well as insights from trusted industry sources, Atmosphere estimates that 17 million self-contained hydrocarbon cabinets have been installed in Europe by December 2024. This is a significant increase from 2023 when we estimated there to be 3.2 million. This higher estimate is the result of better and more complete data gathered from a combination of manufacturers, OEMs, and trusted industry sources. As the data gathered is historical, the increase from 3.2 to 17 million self-contained hydrocarbon cabinets should not be interpreted as a year-over-year gain. It is our new baseline for Europe, and as such we do not refer to estimates from previous years in this report. Our data collection process, as well as the model underpinning our analysis, is continually being refined. This year's iteration resulted in a more complete look at the global market for self-contained hydrocarbon cabinets, which were undercounted in previous reports. Behind the numbers, the revised EU F-gas regulation will also play a big role in boosting the number of self-contained hydrocarbon cabinets installed in stores because it mandates that new self-contained refrigeration equipment cannot use a refrigerant with a GWP of 150 or more, beginning in 2025. The year before the updated regulation became law, the charge level for propane in commercial cabinets in Europe was increased from 150 grams to 500 grams across all case types in the EN/IEC 60335-2-89:2022 standard. According to another standard, EN 378, Europe allows for a maximum hydrocarbon refrigerant charge of up to 1.5 kilograms, but this is dependent on the specific cabinet design and room size, with strict requirements to prevent flammable refrigerant concentrations in case of a leak. These regulations and standards mirror a broader shift in the industry that has seen compressor manufacturers move from F-gases to hydrocarbons. Embraco, a subsidiary of Nidec Global Appliance, said in 2022 that 70% of its total compressor sales for the residential and light commercial sectors used R290 or R600IA. Embraco has been manufacturing hydrocarbon compressors since 1994, and the company estimates that the self-contained case market will be nearly 100% hydrocarbons by 2030. In addition to eventually pushing self-contained F-gas cabinets out of the market, hydrocarbon cases may end up competing for floor space with remote CO2 units, as an E-Leclerc hypermarket in Ville-la-Grande, France, recently showed. In April 2024, the Ville-la-Grande E-Leclerc was declared a real-world showroom for Irish manufacturer Novum's Leap line of R290-based freezers and cabinets. The manufacturer noted that the store replaced 30% of its remote CO2 cabinets with Novum's Leap units. While the store's transcritical CO2 rack was installed in 2017, its general manager said long waits for servicing appointments pushed management to seek equipment it could maintain in-house. Many stores in Europe use only propane cases for refrigeration,